Welcome to Spoiler Corner. So, you ever seen Saint Elsewhere? I think I made that joke in my bum review too. It's essentially that. And we figured it out pretty early that, it's a kid's imagination.
Yeah.
He's making this all up with his Legos.
I didn't figure... That part I didn't necessarily figure out. I didn't know because it was kind of open-ended. I didn't know where they were going. All I knew was that the Legos existed in the real world because of the relics. And I started to put together that this is either a basement, a garage, a child's playroom, something. And there is some in the hand, and I'm like, somebody's controlling it. The degree to who is controlling it, if there were still things that were like, my initial thought was like maybe it was going to be a garage that the child had some Lego display and he just hasn't come back and played with it in a long time, so it's like Toy Story, the Legos that run amok, or I don't know.
So the reason this works out really well is because it's a kid playing with all this. He knows all the cliches. He's representing all the cliches he's seen in the big epic stories with what he has around him.
The immaturity of all the Lego characters makes total sense, and the screwiness of the story makes sense because it's a child making it up.
But the heart part of it is that there's a story going on where the father, who is played by Will Ferrell, who is also the villain, the little Lego villain, he's like Mr. Business or something, and he wants to freeze everything in place, and he's gonna use this device that's pretty much crazy glue, and in reality, that's what the father wants to do. The father's built this, utopia city of Legos. I mean, he's obviously
very ordered.
obsessed.
He's obviously got OCD or something.
Yeah, like a huge collector, really obsessed. And the kid comes down, he keeps playing with it, he keeps telling him no, so then he's gonna glue everybody in place so that the kid can't play with them anymore and he won't ruin his masterpiece. And that's what's going on in the world. He doesn't want
I don't even think it was that. I think he had glued stuff to begin with just because he always wanted it.
Yeah, well, no. He was beginning to. You saw it's like, now we're going to change it. See, here we go. And he's trying to glue everything. And then in the fictional world, everyone's getting glued too. And what comes around is the boy and his father connecting, finding out that there is kind of an in-between. And the father sees the creativity that the boy does with his imagination, combining different elements and stuff. And the boy really bond and really come together. And it's really, really nice. And that makes it really clever.
The beauty of it is, it's true. That was my childhood. That was always the question I had. It's like, okay, I've got this new thing. Do I follow the instructions, or do I build something by myself?
Yeah, and the father always follows the instructions, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had an airport set, and Dad did super glue it. Because he didn't want to...
I forgot about that.
Well, we were so young that, literally, you would have been like 4.
Okay, so it's really...
You would have been 3 or 4. I would have been like 5 or 6 or something. But, I didn't have a concept of how to put... It was a giant set. It was like some airport set. It was the mid-early 80s. And I didn't know how to put the whole thing together, so he built it, and then when he was done, he super glued the whole thing so it would never get wrecked, and he wouldn't have to build it again.
Oh my God.
Here,
all
play
these
with it.
Childhood memories coming back and traumatizing me now. This movie's bringing it out.
No, but I mean, that was always true, and so there's a real true-to-life thing. It's like, do you follow the instruction book? Do you make up your own thing?
Well, it's like people that collect toys and then never open them.
Yeah, I mean...
They have them just to have them.
So it really rang true to me for my childhood, because I'm like, I did the exact same thing. It's like sometimes I'm like, no, I want everything in this place. I want perfect. And other times it's like, I'll just build whatever.
So there is only one problem I have with this entire movie. It's the only thing that bothered me.
The killing spree ending? I mean, I didn't see that coming. Everybody dies.
And I saw it coming. Everybody dies. So the character, the Emma character, goes through the little Lego piece, goes through this portal, and he's on the other end. He figures out he's a toy. And he sees what's going on with the boy and the father and stuff like that. And the father sets him down, and the piece wants him to help the father out and stuff so he doesn't super glue everything. And he actually starts to move, and he moves around. And it's not much, but it's enough just to bring him down to this one piece, that gets him to look at it and realize what he's missing and stuff. I don't like the fact that the piece moved. I really would have liked it if everything was just in the kid's mind. Because
don't you believe in the magic of Legos?
See, that's the thing. It's
wait. So you mean all this time Legos haven't been talking to you?
So I really would have liked it better if instead of it moving, that it wasn't like the power magic and just the Lego actually had a personality like that can move around and consciousness and stuff. That it's the imagination of the boy and the creativity that won everything over. That it's so powerful and so strong that is sort of what changed worlds here without literally having something come to life. I guess there sort of goes Disney-ish. But I think it just would have been more powerful if it really was just all in his mind the whole time, personally.
So not one Lego asks you to build or create or imagine or kill.
Well, maybe one.
Okay, now I feel better.
But I squashed him.
I kind of agree with you. It is a little... I think this scene bothered me just because Will Ferrell is like... You got this Lego going like...
Yeah, he looks twice. That's okay, but then it keeps going. It's like, okay, he heard the other times.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, how do you miss that? I would have been like, what the fuck?
Well, he sees it the first two times.
I would have been calling an exorcist at that point. I was like, what? The house is haunted.
I like that it's not much, but it's still giving into the idea.
I really like the idea of the ending of them coming together and the father realizing, no, I should let you play with these in the imagination. We can play together. I thought the way it was executed was a little Hallmark movie of the week.
You know, when he does the hug.
It was a little sad. Yeah, the way
the hug was a little weird. It didn't feel natural. It sort of felt like this. I guess some people could say, well, they're supposed to be kind of uncomfortable. I don't know. This was a little odd.
It felt like something I would have seen on the Family Channel. It was a little too sappy for me. It didn't wreck the movie.
No, not at all.
I mean, again, I'm grasping at straws here, but like if I'm thinking of the very few things that I was kind of like, you know, I was like, I probably would have preferred if it was a little less sappy in the execution. But then again, so I mean, you got through this ending fine, but you're the one who wails on Toy Story 3 for being sappy at the end.
Oh no, I still like Toy Story 3.
I thought this was just as sappy, if not.
No, because that moment was only like in this movie is only like, you know, not even half a minute or something.
But this is the
Toy
first
Story 3 was
movie.
like 5 minutes of this.
But they're wrapping up 3 films. This is the first movie. If at the end of the third Lego film,
he doesn't make the little.
5 minutes.
Okay, no, and even work better because if he had the little Lego wave and Will Ferrell went, oh, like that, it would have been funny in this one. Toy Story 3, it's just weird and awkward and uncomfortable and stupid.
You know what? Send all of your Pixar-related hate mail.
I've already gotten them. Send them again. Bring it on. It's sappy. I shouldn't talk like that. I mean, not what I'm saying. I stand by what I'm saying. Just my sort of
monsters.
So, but no, because it was short, and it bothered me too a bit. But I mean, it's short, and the whole film was mostly really funny. Where Toy Story 3 was going to like really heavy drama. You know, I think by this sort of staying lighthearted throughout the whole thing, even during the heavier moments, it comes across as more effective. Which is why I think you're right when he does the hug. It does feel that's the point where it goes a little too dramatic and maybe a little too, like you said, too Hallmarky when they take it too seriously.
You know, whatever gets you to sleep at night. And the finale with the Duplo set. He's like, well, I know what this means. You gotta let your little sister play with us.
Oh yeah, that was very clever. Oh,
now I want a sequel, and I want it to be like the Duplo Wars. So like,
well, and what's
awesome.
so clever? There's a scene again we couldn't talk about before, but where they're talking about all these different worlds, and they show the what's it called, the Duplo. They show some of the Duplo toys, and it's like, yeah, but we don't talk about those. Over here, we have the blah, 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 and you're kind of like, well, why did they skip that so fast? That was where you realize that's what his little sister plays with, and, you know, it's just, I don't want that. I want the real Legos. I want my little sister always tries to play with me and stuff like that. So
Morgan Freeman plays a wizard, a ghost, and a talking cat poster. How could this not be the greatest movie ever made?
It's pretty awesome. I'm trying to think of anything else about the ending that like need to bring up or wrap up. I mean, it is what separates this from just a fun, you know, creative, stupid movie to like, wow, this is like really smart and really clever.
And the voice acting too was not obnoxious.
No,
the funny thing is like, Morgan Freeman so sticks out like a sore thumb, and he's in everything now.
But they have fun with it.
They had fun with it, and honestly, it took me about a minute before I was like, oh, is that Morgan Freeman? Like, I just...
Okay, that's weird. He sticks out pretty clear to me.
No, it was not like some of the other roles. Maybe it's because the style of comedy he's doing is different from his, like, narrator voice, but... yeah, every single person, and the cameos were great too. They had Anthony Daniels as 3PO and
Billy D. Williams,
Billy D.
not
Williams
Harrison
doing,
Ford.
not Harrison Ford.
Harrison, come on.
They probably came up to him. It was like, "Hey, we would like you to be in a Lego movie. Get off my lawn."
Will I be in a fridge? I'll only do it if I'm in a fridge.
I don't do kids movies. Crystal Skull was the last one.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Good flick. Anything else to wrap up on?
No, everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Go see it.